We're going to flip here and we're going to go look at a blind spot on the right. Oh, get out of here, Vice. So, this is a story. Basically, this isn't being presented as an editorial, but it feels as though this is. Now, the banning of TikTok is not a brand new issue in this country, right? In which you now have Congress really voicing concerns. We should probably get rid of this app, uh, primarily due to their connections with ByteDance, which is a CCP controlled company, and whether or not they're piping off our data to China, which is a concern. Having formerly worked for the DoD and military, I can say that the we were told very early on that, hey, this is not to go on anything, any government uh, tech at period, and we're strongly advising all of you guys to stay off of it. And so a lot of people make this argument that, oh, all the tech companies are doing it. Oh, yes, they are. And will set my issues with them aside, and just specifically talk about TikTok, in which we knew very early on that what the amount of data mining occurring on TikTok was kind of troubling, and the fact that that was all being sent back. Uh, Now, what we're seeing is you had the CEO of TikTok testify on Capitol Hill. What was that, yesterday? 2 days ago? I believe it was 2 days ago. Um, in which I watched a lot of that, and it kind of seemed like they were a bit unified, and that's something you don't quite often see on Capitol Hill. Uh, Both left and right were really grilling the CEO, really wanting it, because this is a matter of national security. So we need to ensure that what we're not opening ourselves up with. I think he said it was 155 million users. Half the U.S. population is on this app, and ensuring that we are not giving all that information over to a political adversary, a geopolitical adversary in China. It's the same as if, I remember a couple of years ago the big deal of the Russian face swapping apps, and they found out, oh, hey, Russia's actually taking and cataloging all this data, so use at your own risk. But so this one, it's an argument against why, and I do understand the argument. That is the big issue, is that there are a lot of companies that rely on this technology, and it would be the same as if we said, hey, we're going to ban Facebook, hey, we're going to ban this platform, hey, we're going to ban Twitter. There's a lot of businesses at stake, and there's a lot of personal users at stake. But at the same time, we also need to make sure that we're not opening ourselves up to this massive, massive national security risk with a ideological enemy in China. So this is basically arguing that this would be it would be unconstitutional. And I'm not a constitutional lawyer, so I don't know whether or not, you see these hot takes like this all the time. It could be unconstitutional, because I do believe they're set up through a U.S. subsidiary. And a national embarrassment, I'm not so sure I bring that piece on board. But why I think the left is probably disproportionately reporting this and the right isn't, simply is, look at the user base, right? So we all understand how political demographics line up. Oftentimes, the younger you are, the more you tend to lean left, and the older you are, the more you lean right. And we know where our bubbles are, in which what social media apps kind of have their insulary bubbles, and we have a lot of older and Republican user base on apps like YouTube and apps like Facebook, whereas like Twitter and TikTok tend to be left leaning. So that's probably why, right? This isn't anything. This isn't a news story for the right, and the right isn't really arguing for this. They've been arguing to get rid of TikTok since, I believe, the Trump presidency, when there was a lot of discussion on if we could get a sellout, or at least a partial sellout, to U.S. companies to basically ensure the integrity of this stuff. But right now, you're still seeing this huge war wage, and the problem is, well, I don't think it's a problem because I don't use TikTok, but the the big kind of unification that I'm seeing leads me to believe that that might happen. Now, I have also heard the argument that the reason why it's being you seeing all this unification on Capitol Hill is because of all the US tech companies that are doing the exact same thing and collecting the exact same data as TikTok. Well, they're lobbying all these politicians to basically ban their competition because if you've noticed, uh, Hulu or not Hulu, Netflix actually is now doing short form content like TikTok. Now, that's funny to me because Twitter had Vine. This is just Vine 2.0, and they let that go. Oh no, that'll never take off. Now TikTok and ByteDance have created this algorithm in the software that is absolutely fascinating how quickly it sprung on and how effective it is. And now you have every single social media platform. If you've noticed, Reddit, Facebook. I don't think Twitter's really kind of doing it yet, um, but all these platforms basically are now trying to replicate TikTok, trying to find the same level of success, and they're just failing. So what's next? You lobby the politicians, and the politicians get them banned for you. So look, hey, we don't have to compete anymore. So this is still going on. Personally, do I think it's a good chance that it happens? Oh, absolutely, I do. Because of simply because of the unification that we are seeing on Capitol Hill, this very well could impact TikTok and their ability to operate here in the United States.